I don't know what I'm doing again. I've had a real tiring day. Got up reasonably early, and I think I only wrote a couple of poems. I got some nice comments today. I've had a couple of nice comments lately, I mean. One person said that a poem had helped them piece together thoughts which they had had on their own, and just the something about the poem helped them tie it together into a unity of sorts, with a nice a nice discussion. I probably should read the whole thing, but I don't have access to it at the moment. Maybe I'll do that later. And then another one stemming from one of these this morning was just the poem prompted a memory from the commenter's younger days. And it made me feel like, well, what I'm doing maybe is not wasted. I've largely given up reading. I'm desperately trying to finish The Setting Sun by Osamu Dazai. I have one chapter to go, so I think I can do it. But reading is gone for me. I'm writing this stuff, poems, just to put it out there. And I'm tired. I just put out a couple things. The latest one was on Curtis Yarvin and Peter Thiel. I'm trying to focus more on these other people besides Trump. There's no reason that they should get away with this stuff either when they are instigators. I have not touched Stephen Miller. I don't know how one could put Stephen Miller into a poem. But I just watched part of a video from Bulwark, which I can put a link to in the description box. I think the guy's name is Tim Miller. I don't follow them regularly. I really try to keep some distance with the news. And he talks about the situation of one of these men, a young man who was kidnapped and sent to this horrible prison outside of San Salvador. There was a 60 Minutes documentary about it. And there's some new photos have emerged, and the young man was bawling for his mother, saying there was some mistake. And then this host, Tim Miller, I think is about to go on a rant about this terror that we have inflicted upon these people, upon people all over the place. And I had to turn it off. And tomorrow I will get up and I will write some more. My disposition favors me to focus on that theme. I don't know how much one can write poems about these men that have been disappeared, to use the lingo, possibly permanently, possibly undergoing tremendous torments where they are at now, with no recourse, absolutely no recourse. As yet, no legal recourse. Of course, their abduction was not legal to begin with, was illegal in a variety of different ways. And as this Tim Miller says, the Trump administration has been very loose with casting aspersions, that was his word, and throwing accusations at people, completely backed by no evidence whatsoever. The men all should have had hearings, each man individually a hearing, before some sort of fate was determined. And so this is my appeal to you. Can you please do what you can to get this regime out of here, get it overthrown, whatever? I'm really tired, and it's not a delight of mine to be popping these poems out like as it, these garbage poems as they may be, but it's the thing that I will be doing for now until this change can be effected. And it goes beyond just removing these criminals and dastardly people from their positions in government. Full justice has to be meted out. And as you, I would very much like my life to get back to normal. I mean, I appreciate that a lot of folks are working jobs and having to just deal with quotidian things, possibly some affected directly by these things in ways that I haven't. My understanding is that the stock market is tanking again. Futures trading have indicated, and so Monday morning it should be another bloodbath. This does not touch me because I have never been focused on matters pertaining to money, except when I've been in desperate straits. Of course, then one does. And this may get there, but it has not gotten there as yet. So for me, the focus remains the injustice done to these men and to other abductees by this realm, again, without due process of any sort, subject to false accusations, subject to humiliation publicly in videos for public consumption and that kind of thing. Just sheer degeneracy to come from my country. And I'm just having an internal monologue. Should I speak of the degenerates which voted for this man and put this regime in? Some of them, now that they are feeling the impact of their malicious intentions, are repenting a little bit. And that's for the good, of course. They're saying, I suppose, I didn't think it could happen to me, even though I wanted it to happen to other people. So I don't know where this is going. I'll put a link in the description box, but please do what you can. The big march, which occurred yesterday, was great. I mean, it was a show of will, but as yet, I don't think we are especially well led. No leaders have stepped forward. I think we all need to be doing what was done yesterday on a daily basis until this thing is over, this nightmare of a situation, especially a nightmare for these innocent people that have been abducted, whisked away, subject now to torture, possibly some of them have been unalived, to use the current phrase, already. We have no way of knowing. I don't really like having to sit at a piece of paper with pen in hand when emotionally or mentally I'm just really tuckered out. So I'm hoping in the morning I am refreshed a little bit and I will just get back at it. I don't know what each person can do. For the moment, this is the thing that I know that I can do. It is good to have stuff out there. If you write, to have narratives, counter narratives to the predominant one pushed by Trump and much of the legacy media, as it is called. We have seen a lot of institutions capitulate, some major law firms. I believe CNN did. I'm not sure, was it Disney? As I say, I don't follow the news in that kind of detail. I don't need to. And it is up to us. The only way we can emerge from this with a shred of our reputation intact is if we take action and remove this despotic regime. Toot sweet. I want to get back to reading. That's what I want to do. I don't want to be doing this. My notebook is about filled. That, if I remember from the old days, that might be enough to make a book, but I'm not going to do that. The earlier parts of the notebook were kind of junk too, and I'll be going and pulling out another one, and I'm just going to keep moving forward with this against my will. And I urge you to join in to doing whatever you can. It doesn't matter really what sort of effort you make. Try something. Maybe it will have some kind of an impact. You don't know. Is there risk involved? Certainly. But I think the closer it comes to toppling these people, the less risk there will be. When a certain inevitability has been understood. I mean, goodness knows, I hope that if some sort of sea change can be affected, Trump and these other perpetrators can be prevented from getting on an airplane and flying off to Moscow or wherever they have set up for themselves, with no doubt some hard-won booty or hard-stolen booty. And then it will fall to us the task of trying to get some kind of semblance of normalcy back, but all is changed utterly. So as far as our economic standing, that will not come back. For our political standing in the world scene, that will not come back. we are going to be prey to economic forces beyond our control, very much so. But that is no different than anybody else has had to bear with. So we are just becoming normal people, I guess, after 249 years of exceptionality, which is okay. If we can come out of this with some semblance of self-governance available to us, that would be marvelous. It's hard to see how this could happen, but I do believe the effort is worth making. It is worth striving for a better future. We have climate catastrophe barreling down on us. The world does need leadership at this time. It may not, as far as the world's situation, it may not come from the United States. I think we should be willing to take a back seat to people that seem to know what they're doing, such as China. But that's all neither here nor there at this time. We have to get all of those men, and for all I know, some women, back. And I don't know. I can't speak to any kind of amends that could be making or reparations. This country has not been very good at making reparations, has it? But at least get them back. And we got to get these oafs out of the halls in Washington. I'll just stop there. Please help me out, and thank you for stopping by my channel. Please help out this country, the United States of America, if you can, wherever you may be, by keeping the pressure up. I am sure that the end to this regime will not be pretty. It's fine. People have lived through these things, and this is certainly not as bad as it can get. I think the objective herewith is to keep it from getting as bad as it can get, and I think we have the power to do that. We need a little bit of Greta Thunbergian sort of energy directed at this problem, the problem of fascism governing the United States of America, governing or ruling or attempting to. Thank you.